What's up, man? It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth, and today I want to give you guys something different. Closing this decade, I want to look at the top 10 most exciting players from the past 10 years. Many have their top decade lists, but no one's mentioning the guys that kept us on the edge of our seats, clenched fists in celebration, and most importantly, entertained. Let's look at my top 10 in order, and also 3 reasons they were exciting enough to make my list. It's your boy JC, stuntedgrowth3.com, where you can find consulting for you or your young basketball player and much more. On sale for a limited time now. Let's get into it. Gotta begin with Blake Griffin. Blake began his career in 2010 and in his first few seasons was a human highlight reel we never saw anything like. He was really a bigger Zion, but with finesse mixed with his strength. He's been a slam dunk champion, 6-time All-Star, and constant poster maker. Dunks. In the past decade, he has to have the award for best dunker. His dunk on Mozgov will go down in history, and he was just a rookie. It wasn't only Mozgov either. Seemed like he caught a body at least once a week. As a Clipper, this guy's hops were just on another planet. Lob City. When you think of Blake Griffin, you think of the infamous video of him quoting those words after acquiring Chris Paul, and from then on, that's exactly what it's been, a highlight factory that was highly entertaining. Kevin Durant, one of the only players of this decade that has been an all-star every single year of it that he's been healthy. He's also won that game's MVP twice, a unicorn that developed into a killer in big games. 2-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, and would have made all 10 All-NBA teams hadn't he been injured. League MVP and 4-time scoring champion, one of the most efficient players this decade and still in his prime. Although for me, he gets no points for going to the team that defeated him, you have to admit, seeing him comfortable for those 3 years was fun to watch. He consistently outdo LeBron and any other top player. Hadn't he went down with an Achilles injury, it sure would have been entertaining to see he and Kawhi go head to head in the finals. Had he been healthy, I don't think Kawhi and the Raptors had a chance. Lastly, Kevin is simply one of the greats this game has ever seen. It has to entertain you to watch his silky smooth jumper, or how he does whatever he wants in the post, being able to get his shot off over anybody. He was the FIBA World Cup MVP as well to start the decade off, and co-USA Male Athlete of the Year. At his size, skill, and killer instinct, you can't help but love watching him play. Kyrie Irving. You can't make a most entertaining list without mentioning a guy that is the best at the most entertaining skill of the game. Ball handling will always be unrivaled at how it gets the crowd excited. The way Kyrie can get through tight spaces while keeping his dribble alive is just amazing. He never needs much space to dribble you to sleep and finish at the rim. Which brings me to his finishing. Irving is the best finisher around the rim I think I've ever seen. He and LeBron are top 2, but at his size, he makes impossible layups look so easy. To be able to finish like that with below average jumping ability is amazing. Kyrie is also a very quick twitch player that thinks just as fast. He's always 2 steps ahead of opponents, and that's something we rarely see. It's D-Wade-esque. Lastly, Kyrie is a big shot taker and consistent big shot maker. There aren't many players I want the ball in their hands over this guy at the end of the game. I'd say I want him or KD taking my last shot with the game on the line. D Rose is there as well, but this guy is fearless with his game, mentality, and it's really fun to watch. LeBron James. Look, my only issue with LeBron is when he himself or people classify him as the GOAT. One of the best ever, yes, but I have a problem with his heart and the way he's went about winning over the years. But no one can deny how entertaining this guy has been. Like Westbrook, he's a player whose physical gifts will be hard to come by for some time. Besides being one of the most durable players in the history, he's managed to carry 3 franchises in the last decade while looking like he was on another planet from 2010 to 2018. Yes, he's in decline now, but in the last 10 years, there wasn't a more talented player in the game. His 2016 NBA Finals run will forever be his greatest accomplishment. With his team down 3-1 in the series against the mighty Warriors, LeBron took over in Game 5 and Game 6, scoring 41 in both. He finished with a triple-double in Game 7 and a key block on Iguodala to give Cleveland its first and only championship. LeBron has no question been the leader of this decade. When you think of the NBA from 2009 to now, you can't help picture James. On and off the court, he's been exceptional in how he conducts his business and community efforts. Entertainment, whether you like him or not, comes in a package with LeBron James. Dwayne Wade. Even with LeBron joining the team in 2010, Wade was still able to find a way to shine. D-Wade is one of those guys where the numbers don't jump out at you as far as scoring in the last decade, but just the way the guy moves on the floor and how quickly he can change direction. He mastered the Eurostep move, and I still haven't seen anyone better at it. James Harden comes close, but as far as entertaining, Wade's was like a dance move. He won 2 championships, and his efficient way of playing was always fun to watch. His final series against Dallas in 2011, the second time around, wasn't resulting in a win, but this was maybe the last of prime D-Wade we'd see. But it started the decade on fire. He would be crucial in the Heat's next 2 seasons, winning 2 chips. In this decade, if you ask anyone who the top players were, you will hear Dwayne Wade on everyone's list, top 6 and down. He's been one of the most efficient guards of the era, shooting over 50% for his career from 2, and was a constant defensive matchup nightmare up to the day he retired in 2019. Next to Derrick Rose, this guy is the most athletic point guard and/or player we've ever seen. Just his motor puts him ahead of anyone else working on their game. The energy he can give you night in and night out may never be duplicated. He's been very durable for the last 10 years and has only missed under 20 games in his career. His spirit is unmatched. If it's one thing you gotta love about this guy, it's how he can attack the game like no one else can. Westbrook hasn't averaged under 21 points in the last 10 years. He's led the league twice in scoring in 2015 and 17, has made 8 All-Stars, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, along with 2-time assist leader, not to mention winning the league MVP in 2017 after KD left the team. It was an emotional year for him as a player, and emotion is the last thing you want to give a dog like Westbrook. Lastly, put some respect on this man's name, man. All 3 of y'all. What Westbrook has done in the past 10 years has been nothing but iconic. From averaging a triple-double 3 straight years, let's pause that right there. From 2016 to 19, Westbrook is a top 3 player in the regular season. That's facts. His numbers are video game-like, and I don't even think I can do that on 2K. Had he stayed in OKC, he would have averaged another triple-double and potentially break more scoring records. This guy will have an award named after him one day for triple-doubles or passion, work ethic, and hard work, or the flair he brings to the game, his off-the-floor life being equally as entertaining. James Harden. Harden exploded on the scene after he left OKC for Houston. No one expected him to be as good as he immediately was, as in his first game, becoming the first player to score 37 or more while having double digits in assists. He hasn't looked back since. He's been the quintessential franchise player and has given Houston new hope. In 10 years, Harden was the league MVP, 5-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, and assist leader. He's up there for most decorated player of the decade with LeBron James and Steph Curry. And lastly, Harden has been the best scorer of this generation, period. We haven't seen a guy that can score like him since Michael Jordan, and he's arguably better. The numbers sure say he is. He has a chance to break every scoring record and make it look very entertaining at the same time. No matter how you feel about his game, Harden gets the ball through the net, and that's been proven. Should he win a championship or 2, he's going down as one of the greats to ever play. Now let's get into the top 3. Kobe Bryant. Kobe began the decade winning a championship in a Game 7 brawl with the Celtics. His Western Conference Finals versus the Suns, he was simply a killer. He never let his foot off the Suns' neck, and seeing D'Antoni never get past Kobe and the Lakers was some of the most entertaining parts of the decade. He He was also Finals MVP, scoring 23 points and 15 rebounds to close out the Celtics by 4 points. He did shoot horribly, but that's Kobe. You don't shoot it, you can't make it. Of the last 10 years, Kobe was an All-Star 7 times, All-Defensive Team 3 times, won 2 championships and 2 Finals MVPs. His career is definitely underrated, and his mentality is second to none. He's proven this decade that he was must-see TV no matter the box score. To do that with one team is amazing. He also was exemplary in leading the new generation and gracefully passed the torch in a way only he could. Which brings me to the way he went out. In 2014, he passed Jordan as the 3rd all-time leading scorer. He ruptured his Achilles in 2013 and came back to still be a dominant player and all-star. Although he was plagued with injuries in his final years, he still went out in a blaze, dropping 60 points, taking 50 shots. Only the God Kobe, man. Love that man's mindset. One of a kind and definitely one of the most entertaining. Derrick Rose. Derrick's playoff run from 2009 to 2015, especially in 2011, was some of the best Magic we've seen in the last decade. Had he not gone down with an injury, the Bulls was a good shot to win it all that season. He was that good and that exciting. His second most exciting point of the decade was just him going through all he did and coming back to still be a factor in the NBA. Watching his perseverance and hard work to get where he is now is an example for every young player that faces adversity or will face it at some point. The game will remember D Rose, and a lot has to do with his run from 2009 to 2019. Lastly, how could the youngest MVP of all time not make the list? He's simply the fastest, quickest, most athletic, and graceful basketball player ever to grace the floor. That's a fact. And the award for Stunted Growth's most entertaining player of the decade has to go to Steph Curry. He changed the game into something everyone can get excited about. He made positionless basketball what it is today, and it was amazing watching. His first most exciting point, 2013, MSG, 54 points, 11 of 13 shooting from 3. The guy was on fire, 18 for 28 overall, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, made all his free throws and played every minute. It was a must-see game to watch and a pivotal point in Steph Curry's career. 5-time three-point field goals leader from 2013 to 2017. Basically, the guy was a long-range bucket, and when it's all said and done, Steph Curry will go down as a top 3 point guard of all time. And from 2009 to 19, he carried the flag as the most exciting of the decade for sure. His long-range shooting and charisma made Golden State games a must-watch. How he didn't win the Finals MVP in 2015 was robbery. Salute to Andre. 3 chips in 10 years has to stand for something. And a bonus, the guy is one of only 2 players of the decade to win the MVP award multiple times, along with LeBron. Now, this isn't the who's best list, but you have to be an exciting player to do that. Salute to Steph Curry, he's definitely fun to watch, and I can't wait till he gets back on the floor. There you have it, Stunted Growth's top 10 most exciting players of the last decade. Let's enter 2020 with a positive mindset and a go-get-it attitude, man. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Visit stuntedgrowth3.com for jackets, backpacks, sweatshirts, consulting, and more. I'm out.